You've just launched a new product on Amazon. It's going really well. The sales are blowing up. They're going so well that you need to reorder ASAP. But then you realize all those sales you made, all that money you made looks great, but Amazon's got that money and they're not paying you. And you're thinking, am I missing something? Like, what is going on here? And more importantly, where do I get the money to reorder? Hey guys, welcome to the video. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Myles. I'm a multiple seven-figure Amazon FBA seller, and this channel right here is all about helping you accelerate your own Amazon FBA journey. If you like that, make sure to subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell as well so you get these videos and you don't miss a single one. So let's get straight into it. You're making sales, but Amazon is holding your money, which you need to reorder new inventory. So you're probably looking at your statement or your payments report. This is what it used to look like. You can see down the bottom, it's gonna have a total balance and it's gonna have an unavailable balance. So the total is what you're owed, and the unavailable balance is what Amazon isn't paying you. And this is what it looks like in the new view. It's changed around a little bit. They don't actually show you the total balance, but you can see the account level reserve. So that unavailable balance or that reserve, that is your money, but Amazon is not paying it to you. And if Amazon doesn't pay you, then you don't have the money. And if you don't have the money, then you don't reorder. And if you don't reorder, then you don't have more product to sell. And if you don't have more product to sell, then you don't make money. And so you can see this horrible sort of catch-22 vicious cycle. And you're trying to get out of that right now. So first, just to clear this up, to make sure that you can understand the accounting a little bit, Amazon does pay you this money, but they actually hold each order at least 7 days after the order has been shipped and received, just in case, and I'll put this up somewhere, it's basically just in case there are any refunds or chargebacks on that order, then Amazon holds that money until that period has elapsed. Then you've got to wait for the actual statement period. So if you add both of those up, it means you're actually not getting paid the money from the sale that you make for up to 3 weeks, sometimes even more. And that means if you need to reorder your product right now, but you're only getting paid in 3 weeks from now, well, that's a pretty tough situation to be in. And that number can get pretty big, especially as you're growing in size. I'll put my most recent account reserve balance up there and it's like $100,000. So that's not very nice. What can we actually do about it? And basically, this is a cash flow problem. This isn't something that is talked about very often when it comes to like beginner level Amazon FBA stuff, but everybody hits it at a certain point. So I'm going to show you some different ways that you can solve this problem. And ultimately it comes down to having alternative sources of funding or funding coming in earlier so that you don't need that balance that Amazon is holding because you can get it from some other source. I got to say at this point, I'm assuming that you've already got a product selling on Amazon. You've already proven it with some sort of sales history. Like I said in the first example, it's like you got this product, it's selling well. But honestly, if you haven't actually proven that it's working yet for you, then be very careful with getting alternative sources of funding. Basically, it's going to mean taking debt, credit, that sort of thing. And you just have to understand that there are risks and there are costs involved. And so if it's proven, great. If this is unproven, then this is probably not for you. All right, so that's out of the way. Let's talk about the ways that you can get funding so that you can solve the money problem or the cash flow problem and get that reorder happening so that you can keep making money as fast as possible. First source is personal credit. So this is using what you've already got. You've already got some sort of credit score out there in the world. You may have a mortgage, something like that. And we're gonna turn to that first because it's probably gonna be the cheapest and best source. So the first and probably best source is 0% APR credit cards. You can get these on purchases or balance transfers. Getting one on balance transfers is pretty much ideal, and you can get these for 18 to up to 24 months. And at least when I did this back in Australia with Citibank, they were really good. They literally just send you a check in the mail for the money. A lot of other banks might want you to actually transfer an existing balance from another credit card. And all that just means is that you'll have to pay for your new product or your reorder using the credit card. But ultimately, the idea here is that you're getting a 0% interest rate on a certain amount of money based on your personal credit score for up to 2 years. So it's free. And if that's going to allow you to reorder this product, to launch a new product that again is, you've already proven it, then that's pretty sweet. I'll put a link in the description down below where you can go and check out, I think it's called NerdWallet, and they just have a list of the best 0% interest rate credit cards. So you can get that very quickly, very easily. And of course, if you already have credit cards, then go and check your bank. If they don't have anything on the website, then just call them up and ask whether they can do something for your existing credit card. So this way is pretty quick, it's pretty easy, and it's cheap. That's the best advantage. You're literally paying nothing for this money. It's free money. You have to pay back over a long period of time. So you've got plenty of time to use it as well. Disadvantages are, firstly, it's personal liability. So you will actually be responsible for that debt. And secondly, it's limited by a credit score. So if you don't have a credit score, then, or you have a low credit score, you might only get a few $1,000s. But if you've got a good credit score, you can get, from a few $1,000s up to $20,000 to $35,000, something like that. Which is plenty to grow your business, particularly in those early stages. Second personal option is to use your mortgage. So this is, again, depending on whether you have a home or something, some sort of equity that you can draw on with an existing loan. This could be a line of credit or a redraw facility, or there could be other words for it. But basically, you've got some sort of asset that's already guaranteeing an open bank loan. So you can just take money out of that bank loan. And because it's guaranteed, buy something like a house, which is considered really safe and secure, that interest rate will be very low. Now, I haven't done this personally, but if you have a mortgage, then go and check and see what options you have available to you. Advantages here, it's going to be that low interest rate. It's not zero, so it's not good as the balance transfer, but it's going to be pretty good. And you can potentially draw out a lot of money since, it depends on the actual loan that you have. Disadvantages, firstly, you need a house or some sort of asset. And then secondly, you're paying some sort of interest on this money. But as long as you've proven this method, again, you've already got this product selling, or you already have a brand or something, think about the annual return you'll get on that money that you're going to invest in this new product. If you get 100% ROI, that's every time you sell the product. So let's say you turn that 2 to 3 times, which is pretty conservative, then you're actually making a 200 to 300% return on investment. So if you're going to pay, let's say 4% at an interest rate, and then you're going to make 400% per year, obviously that maths just really works out well. So those are the personal sources, and that's where you get the cheapest interest rate. The next option is going to be using your business or getting some sort of funding for your business directly. And in this case, I recommend Sellersfunding. Check out the link in the description down below. But the advantages here are that this is going to be really quick. And the reason why is that they can log into your Amazon account if you give them permission, and they can instantly check all of your metrics, check your account health, they can verify your sales, so they can very quickly estimate if you'll be eligible and how much money can you get out. The other advantages are that it doesn't affect your personal credit. And also, you're not affecting your personal liability because it's for your Amazon business. If something goes wrong, then you have no personal risk. The disadvantages with using Sellersfunding are that you're going to need some sort of existing sales history. And the other disadvantage is the interest rate is going to be higher than the other methods that I mentioned already. So ballpark, you're looking at 15 to 20% annual. But again, you do the maths, if you're comparing that to a 200 to 300% return, it's very easy for it to make financial sense. So I recommend you check out Sellersfunding. Again, use that link in the description down below, and then you can go and see if it's right for you, and you can very quickly apply and see if you're eligible as well. And the last way of getting these funds that you need is daily advance payments. So this is a direct way to actually get that payout that Amazon holds for 2 to 3 weeks, to actually get that on the same day that you make the sales. The way it works is that these providers that I'll mention in a sec, they will basically pay you out 80% of your total sales on the same day. So instead of waiting, again, the 14 to 20 days, whatever, you get that on the same day. And then it's normally around 20% of your daily sales will still be withheld while Amazon withholds that payment. So one thing here is be careful of these daily advance payouts. Just think and ask yourself whether you really need this. The 2% fee, it doesn't sound that high, but if you actually calculate it as an interest rate and compare it to the other methods that I mentioned already, the interest rate on these ones will be a lot higher. The first provider you can check out is Payability. They're a big name in the space. The eligibility requirements are pretty low, so you can sign up with them even if you don't have much sales history. And again, the fee is 1 to 2% of gross sales. In terms of the sign up process, you can literally sign up in a minute, and it takes 10 minutes to go through the whole verification process, upload a few documents. And then, like I said before, they just need to see access to your Seller Central account so they can verify your metrics, they can check your sales history, and then they can give you an estimate of the total amount that they can give you. Probably the best thing about Payability is that the eligibility requirements are low, so if you don't have that much sales history, you can still sign up. They accept a lot of non-US businesses. So my company, for example, which is not registered in the US, had no problems being registered through the process. If you check out Payability, make sure to use my link in the description down below. That'll actually give you a $150 sign up bonus. And just make sure that you read everything carefully. And again, you know your numbers and you know that it makes sense for you. The second option you can look at is a company called Storfund. Storfund are based in the UK, and they're only available for US, Canada, UK, or European registered businesses. But as far as I can see, the biggest advantage with Storfund is that their fee is actually calculated based on the payout amount rather than the total gross sales. So effectively, the fee is cheaper. And just like Payability, Storefund will also give you a very quick estimation. So you can go and log into both of them and you can see what results they both bring you in terms of eligibility and how much money you can get and the fee that you'll be charged. Again, the link to Storefund is in the description down below, so go and check that out. So for providers like Payability and Storefund, does the maths actually work out? Because like I said, that fee is quite expensive. I'm going to run you through a simple situation, and then you can get an idea of like, does this work out for you in your particular circumstances? So let's say you've got a 10K a month product that's doing 30% profit margins. So that's $3,000 a month. But now let's say your sales went up unexpectedly. And so you're actually going to be out of stock for a 2-week period. So 2 weeks is half of 1 month. So if you're making $3,000 in a month in profit, then you're losing $1,500 in that 2-week period that you're out of stock. That's roughly $100 a day in lost profit. And then I'd add in a little bit as well, just because I don't like being out of stock. If it came down to it, I'd actually choose to be running at break even for that period instead of being out of stock completely for re-ranking and all these other complex issues. But that's beside the point. Let's say you're losing $100 a day in lost profit. So that's how much you're losing by being out of stock. So let's say using Payability, then you can reduce that out of stock period from 2 weeks to 0 because you get the money same day. So you can place the reorder 2 weeks earlier. So the cost in that case then is it's 2% of your gross sales. you're doing $10,000 a month. So that's $200 a month to save $100 a day. So is this accurate for your situation? I don't know. You'll need to do this for yourself, obviously, and work that out. But I can definitely see how even though the fee is quite high, it does work out in the short term to increase profit and accelerate growth. So those are some ways you can solve your cash flow problems, reorder your inventory faster, grow your Amazon business, and make more money. Remember, all the links and the discounts, they'll be in the description down below. So go check all of them out and see what is right for you. Hope this video has helped. And I think if you're still here watching, then it probably has. So make sure to smash the like button. It shows me these are worth making these videos. As well, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Make sure you click the notification bell as well so you don't miss a video. And then don't go anywhere because the next video is coming out right now. Click on that video there and I'll see you there.